Hank second.
Hank?
Yeah.
Thank you.
New business B, that's the 779 on the increase in the servicing fees. Michelle, you want to talk now?
Yeah, so, as the board is aware, we have a new zoning hearing board solicitor upon the death of Bob Brandt. We have Devin Ralph from his firm from Brandt Lowell. So we, met with her, Sherry and I, and she made some recommended changes to our application along with fees, and basically recommended that we institute a, continuance fee for zoning hearing boards.
Ian also, Eric, do you want to add anything? We do the whole list, right?
So the only two changes were the one Michelle just hit, and then we actually updated our fees. In updating this ordinance, we noticed that it had hourly fees from prior years. I think it was actually fees from 2 years ago. So we updated our solicitor fees as well. So they're the only two changes that were made.
I'll need a motion on 779.
I will make that motion on 779.
Hearing a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Hearing a second, further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Against? Motion carries. New business C, this is the one that we will be, talking about in executive session, has to do with the Stewart property. So we'll continue on executive session with 780.
And I will ask for action on that after the executive session.
Thanks, Eric. New business D, this is the open space properties piece where we're talking a little bit about, it's in your packet, you see the email Chad put together and the property. So the thought here is that our ground that we have, we have an individual who wants to farm it, the aesthetics look really nice when you do that. And instead of charging him, the thought here is that he would use his brush hog and his equipment to maintenance a lot of our ground that will not have crops on it and save us on costs. So Chad, you and Michelle wanna add any more?
I mean, you nailed it. Basically what we're looking to do, we get complaints from neighbors about high grass and weeds right now. It was farmed at one time, and then that farmer since no longer wants to farm it. So the grass has grown up and the weeds have grown up, and we don't have the equipment to take care of it. So I did get a price to just have somebody come in and brush hog all the fields, and it was about $4,000 to $5,000 to do that. So we can have a farmer take care of the fields, maintain them, and trade. It won't cost us anything.
Sounds like a good trade-off to me.
I just have one question, and I'm sure you can answer this. It said that they're gonna come back with a sprayer, spray the fields for the vegetation. Does that affect anybody or anything around
They would
it?
have to notify the individuals if there is any within 500 feet of that.
Okay,
That's one reason they're not farming the Proud Farm, because of organic gardens, so that's just gonna get mowed and no farming down there.
okay, so they will notify people that there's going
That's
to be,
their
spraying them.
responsibility, yeah.
okay. All right,
And this will be contingent upon the solicitor review, particularly around the insurance piece of it.
That was my question.
Yeah, so, I already have prepared kind of an outline of an agreement that will require insurance, or kind of detail everything you just chatted about, insurance, and then also providing indemnification. So if something would happen to a farmer's employees, they won't come against the township. So it's a very short agreement.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Need a motion to action this?
I'll make that motion.
Hearing a motion, is there a second?
I will second.
Hearing a second, further discussion?
Yes, I did review these the best I can, and since Chad and Greg are here, I'll make probably will be useless comments, but I would encourage wherever we can on open space or the farms is to encourage pollinator gardens, and which are just about as important as the crops, since if you want the crops to grow, and it certainly would benefit the neighbors. I'm a big advocate of planting pollinator-friendly areas, and we have a lot of land. And if we could encourage them even on the perimeters, that would be really, plus they look nice. So, I know there's several citizens that are very knowledgeable about that, and even our solicitor knows quite a bit about pollinators. So I would just encourage whenever possible, and it doesn't cost much. I know, Greg, you and I talked about converting fields to meadows, and I don't know how to do that, but thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the field, any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Against, motion carries. Thanks Chad and Greg for working on this, Michelle. Nice. New business E, this has to do with some discussion Michelle would like to raise with you and, how we're gonna spend some additional money. Go ahead, Michelle.
Indicated on my, admin reports for the last several months, the township has remaining funds that we received from the American Rescue Plan Act. And we need to utilize those funds by 2026. However, we also need to, award any contracts for any work by the end of this year, the end of 2024. So Chad and I worked together along with our engineers to come up with some projects that we'd like to present to you. So, we're looking to do a, stormwater improvements along Moyer and Evans Road. We're also looking to do some improvements in the storm sewer easement between two properties in Cherry Tree Farm. And the final project will be, improvements to Farview Lane on both roads, they're both cul-de-sacs. So, I'm gonna present to you tonight just, the cost estimates and scope of work for those projects. I ask that you review them, when Chad gets the one together for the paving of Farview Lane, I'll forward that. What we'd like to do is have you authorize those projects to go out to bid in September, and then we would have to award the contracts if you so desire, by the end of this December. So, that's really all I have, just have to take a look at them and review them. Let me know if you have any questions. You feel free to reach out to the engineer through me if you'd like, if you have any specific questions, on the project themselves. So we can use, funding for, stormwater projects and road projects, but again, let me borrow yours back, because I gave you my originals, there you go. We can use the funding for those projects, but again, the, contracts have to be awarded by the end of 2024.
And how much do we have in reserve for that?
We have $404,072.64.
Thank you.
Okay, if you would take a look at those and, get your discussions to Michelle, we'll continue to move on. Thanks, Michelle. New business F, this is the promotion we talked about before with, our corporal promoted sergeant. We need to act on this, as we had our discussion, so Jim, you wanna add anything more to this piece?
Yes, Commissioners, the civil service did approve the list, which was Corporal Warner. As was discussed before, his responsibilities and the job he's doing is definitely at a minimum, a sergeant, position. So I'm asking permission to go ahead and promote him the next pay period to sergeant, and then badge presentation at a future date.
I'll need a motion on the promotion to sergeant from corporal.
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I will say.
Second. More discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Against? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Jim. Moving on to other public comments. Is there public comments? If you would, please come up to the mic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rich Comer, 1303 Farmington Avenue. So I have a question, why does our township only have one towing company? The towing company that we use is Berksmont Towing. When there's a problem, the police department calls it. They're out of county, they're all the way in Becklersville. They have a small impound yard. They can't even fit all the cars in the impound yard if you drive up there. The place is prehistoric, there's no bathroom there, there's no nothing there. But yet, their trucks are old. People, the time they tried to pick my truck, I wouldn't let them take it. They were arrogant to me, and I wanna know why we only have one company. Why don't we have it alternated? Every township around here has more than one. Pottstown has, 2. I know, Coventry has more than one, they all do. So it's very, interesting. I was told why we only have one, but I'm not gonna repeat that, because who knows where that would go. But, it just is really weird. You would think, I drove somewhere the other day, there was a car that was in front of Connington View. It was Saturday morning, 2 Saturdays ago. I drove all the way over to Shankill Church, realized I forgot my phone, came back. As I was coming back, now this car was pulled over there, and I don't know how long it was there. It was there prior to me coming down Farmington Avenue. When I'm coming back, the rollback just showed up. I made it to Shankill Church, which is all the way out in Coventry, and back, and the rollback's just finally rolling in. So, you know, something don't seem right here. It seems like, somebody has a hand in this, so, it should be an alternating towing company that's licensed and has insurance, and it should be, somebody respectable.
Others? Closing public comments, commissioners.